Hi guys, good morning. As I mentioned, oh sorry, I don't think I'm high enough here. Hold on. As I mentioned, I am going to do you a morning skincare routine today. It's a little bit late. I've had a slow start. Yesterday was even later though, so because I went in the gym first. But I want to go through what I do in the morning, what my morning routine consists of, and talk you through sort of a basic routine for you, so to show you it's not too onerous, but also what can be achieved if you want to do it. So I've already cleansed my skin. I do suffer with a bit of rosacea. I've been wearing masks a lot lately, so I tend to alternate my cleansers, but normally I would use Sensicalm. So that's at least half of the time I use Sensicalm, and at the moment I'm using it most of the time because of the cold weather, because I get a touch of rosacea, and because of mask wearing. So those of you who don't know, I started vaccinating last week, which is a huge honour and a great feeling to be doing something practical towards the solution here, which is lovely. But it means that my skin is noticing the mask wearing. You can actually see I actually get like a red line. That's where my rosacea sits. That's not just from the masks, but it is does literally sit under where I wear a mask. So Sensicalm cleanser for me is really important because it helps rebuild that protective layer. It doesn't strip the skin down. It's quite soothing. It's got lots of kind of moisturising and calming properties in it. The other types of cleansers, there's an acne balancing cleanser. There's purifying gel cleanser, which is great for oily skin or sort of occasional breakout prone skin. It's quite good for getting makeup off as well. There's acne balancing serum, which kind of the name speaks for itself. It's got a little touch of salicylic acid in, but it's not harsh at all, and it's really good for sort of more regular breakouts, more severe acne. So that's a really great one. And Hydra Boost is a cream cleanser for normal skin, dry skin, and it's a really good daily cleanser. So I've actually got all of them racked up, as you can imagine. But for the most part, I use Sensicalm. It is, for me, particularly at the moment, it's the one that I need. So I've done that already. So it is a cream cleanser, but you do wash it off. So you can use it. I've got the really soft, like fleecy cloth. They're amazing, which I tend to use at night if I've got moisture mat or obviously my sunscreen on. Okay, exfoliation is the next really important part of your routine, because we need to be encouraging dead skin cells to sort of shed off, because that not only makes our skin look better, it encourages cell turnover. So cell turnover is something that happens deeper in the skin, and your body is producing nice, new, fresh, juicy skin cells. And that slows down as we age, and it slows down if the top layers of skin aren't being shed off. Now, there's various things you can do. We've got home treatments to accelerate that, to do slightly deeper ones. The enzymatic peel, for example, is amazing for that. I've also introduced, if you like a physical scrub, we've got Lotus Scrub, which is quite gentle and hydrating. Some people just like that gentle touch. But I've also introduced a non-Alumier product. It's called Microdermabrasion. It's from a great company called Protocol. Protocol are more concerned with sort of collagen production and collagen supplementation. I'll do a live on that at some point as well. But this is one of the only skin product of theirs that I'm particularly interested in. But it's a really nice physical, it's a cross between a physical exfoliant and a mini peel. It's got glycolic and lactic acid in. It's got a grain in it. It's got grit, diamond and pearl grit. But it's not too chunky. So that's quite a nice exfoliant. However, day to day, in the morning, I always use Bright and Clear. I've got people who swear by this and will never ever be without it. So this is completely liquid, and it's used a bit like a toner, but don't be fooled. It's very active. Don't go splashing it all over the place. So you need a couple of good pumps. There we go. 2 pumps on a cotton pad, and then you just gently wipe across the skin with that. Now, I'm a little bit prone to oiliness when I'm hormonal around the sides of my nose, nowhere else. And I'll show you what I use for that in a mo. It is a little bit oily at the moment. And when you get a lot of oil, you can get blocked pores, which is another reason that the exfoliation is so important. It helps reduce breakouts by reducing the amount of stuff that is clogging onto your skin. So that's a really good wipe over, making sure you get the whole surface of your skin, and don't forget your neck. So I did do some of that then. You might need a little bit more to go onto your neck as well. but you don't need to overdo it. That was one extra pumper. You don't kind of have to, like I said, it's not aftershave. You don't have to splash it around. Okay, so that's face and neck. Don't neglect your neck. Your neck is as exposed to UV light as the rest of your face, so that needs as much looking after as the rest of your face. So now is the point that we would be using your specialty serums. And so if you have acne, for example, you would be using your acne serum. Matte Clear, so I was going to tell you about oiliness. Matte Clear is amazing. It absorbs oil on the surface of the skin and it helps reduce oil production without stripping the oil and convincing your body ultimately to make more oil. So it's really, really good if you've got oily, shiny skin. A colleague of mine calls it her selfie serum because it kind of works like a really nice mattifying primer. Calmar for rosacea. So there's all sorts of different serums that are starting to come in now. However, the most important one for me is vitamin C. Now, yesterday I showed how to open a vitamin C bottle. It's actually quite difficult to do, only because the vitamin C is stored in the cap. It's really important that vitamin C is fresh. So what you get a box with 3 of these vials in, and each of one of these lasts 4 to 6 weeks, and it must be used within 2 months. And it comes with the vitamin C crystals in here. And you basically, if you watched my one yesterday, or I'll try and do a separate one, as you push down on the cap and it releases the crystals into the serum. It's a vitamin E and peptide based serum. And so it's fresh at that point, and that stays fresh for, I said, up to about 2 months, but ideally you're going to be using that within 4 to 6 weeks. So you get 3, so you get your 3 to 5 months worth of vitamin C. Now what I'm going to do is show you the difference between fresh vitamin C and oxidized vitamin C. So the one I mixed yesterday, my nice fresh vitamin C, you can see it's clear. Don't waste it, Sal. Blimey. So it's clear, colourless, and as you can see, quite thick. And then this is one I prepared earlier. So this is an older one. It's oxidized, and I've hung on to it so you can see. So you can see it's gone yellow. This is now no longer effective. It's oxidized, it's gone yellow. You haven't got the best bioavailability of L-ascorbic acid, which is really, really important for it to work on your skin. Vitamin C is essential for all skin functions. It's really good for helping with acne. It's great with pigmentation, and it's really, really good for your general aging. As I said, the serum has got peptides and vitamin E, and you use 4 or 5 drops of that straight onto the face. It goes a long way. So I tend to, that didn't go that one. I tend to go straight on like that. And then that is more than enough. It's active. Some people have to build this up gently. With some people, I wouldn't let them start on it straight away because we have to build up your skin's protective layer first. But those 4 or 5 tiny drops are enough to cover all of my face and bring that down onto my neck. All of Alumier products are highly concentrated. They are extremely good value for money. You're paying for quality products, but they last really, really well. So that's vitamin C. And then the one product that I would always recommend for almost everybody is Ultimate Boost Serum. So Ultimate Boost Serum is suitable for all skin types. It's a hydrate. So first and foremost, it's a moisture replenishing serum. It has hyaluronic acid in it. It's a peptide based serum, but also it helps work on things like skin texture and barrier function. So if you have damaged barrier function, which means you've got sore, dry, irritated skin, you're prone to breakouts, you suffer from rosacea, you've been using cheap products, highly perfumed products, products with lots of preservatives in it, or your skin just doesn't behave and you're not sure why, or you're hyperreactive to products, the chances are there's a 99% probability that you have damaged protective layer, the acid mantle, your barrier function. This is a really important product for that, and I usually introduce it before anything else. Again, very concentrated. This I would expect to last 3 months, even if you need to really slap it on to start with because your skin is damaged and very dry. I want you to get at least 2 months out of this. So if people are using this in 6 weeks, you're using too much. So in the first instance, 1 pump twice a day. Occasionally I do suggest to people they use a little bit more. 1 pump is not very much. That is enough for my whole face, and I would be able to bring that down onto my neck. Don't forget your top lip. It's really easy to forget. But this is more than enough, particularly when you're layering as well. So when you're layering your products, they go a lot further too. So it is worth doing. So this is the point, like I said, you'd be putting on your acne serum, your Clear, whatever it is that's been recommended for your skin and your skin type. Now you can see it, my skin's quite glowy and dewy. It's still a little bit pink. I'm going to use one of my tinted moisturisers to cover that up. However, I am a little bit oily, so I'm going to use a tiny, tiny bit of Clear. Not a lot. I'm literally just going to put a touch on the end of my finger. That is more than enough for where I need it to be. This is great if you've got oily T-section. I'm just going to put, that's probably too much for there. It's such a tiny bit I need because it is literally just there that gets oily. So I'm just going to stick that on my hands. So that's all the serums. That's the serums layered. So that's cleanse, exfoliate, vitamin C, specialties and hydration serums. Now you don't have to have all of these. I've just built up to this over the last few years, and I'm going to go through what a good basic routine would be in a moment. So that's all the serums I'm going to use, except eyes. Don't forget your eyes. Your eyes will show you your age. Alumier is an amazing serum. I mean, all these products are amazing. I'm totally biased, but I wouldn't use anything else because the quality of them is so good. So like a good sort of small blob, quarter of a pump, and you go around the top. I used to, anybody who watched yesterday, I used too much yesterday and it flipping went everywhere. So through the brow, across the brow bone, through the eyebrow, round and under the eye. We don't put it on the tops of the eyelids, okay? Too sensitive, the skin is too thin. So that's your eye cream. It took me a long time to get an eye cream into a routine. The important thing is developing a routine. I don't let people take, if people aren't used to having a routine, there's no way I'd let them take this many products home. I would start them off with some basics and encourage the routine first, because without that, there's no point spending money on specialty products because you're not going to use them, and then you're going to hate me and you're going to have expensive products sitting there, or they're going to feel expensive because you're not using them. They're only expensive if they don't work or if you don't use them. With this, like I said, they last really, really well. Now, I'm a little bit upset because yesterday my Sheer Hydration ran out. Sheer Hydration is one of our sunscreens. Sheer Hydration is an amazing, light, easy to use, very slightly tinted sunscreen. I'm just going to show you. Because it's a physical sunscreen, it does sort of get sort of clogged around the entrance a little bit. Now, I don't know if you can see this because that one's pretty much run out. It's just gently tinted. Okay, and it's light and easy to use. Sheer Hydration is brilliant if your skin is dry, dehydrated, but there is tinted and untinted as well. So this one's brilliant if you just want a little bit of colour. So I'm going to show you Moisture Matte. Moisture Matte is also hydrating. It's got hyaluronic acid. This is also, all our sunscreens are also your daytime moisturiser. So Moisture Matte looks a lot thicker. It looks quite different. It's a little bit harder to use. But it's, so it looks white to start with. This is like a gentle foundation base. So what I tend to say, again, you don't need tons of this. So I'm just going to dot it everywhere. And then, as you start to massage it in, you'll see it looks really white to start with. Now, these sunscreens are ultimately the main reason I use Alumier, because the quality of them, the lack of nasty rubbish in them, the wearability of them, the fact they don't have nasty preservatives, and they don't have, most importantly, they don't have chemical sunscreen filters. They're all physical. So if you will notice that with each layer of my products, I go a little bit pinker. It's because they're active products. I've got quite highly reactive skin because of my rosacea. That settles very quickly, and you can see what's happening here. That is just disappearing, and what's happened is it's developed some colour. I should have brought a tissue so I can show you. I will see if I can show you anyway. Hold on. So you just massage it until the colour develops. And then it doesn't look white. It just gives a very gentle foundation base. Some people find they need to massage it more than others to get the colour up. but overall it gives a really nice, clean, smooth finish. I'm in a little bit here. So I look a little bit dewy still, a little bit pink. That will all settle in the next hour. But generally speaking, my skin looks lovely and glowy. Obviously, I layer quite a few products, so that is going to take a while to absorb. But it does absorb. I'm not going to it's not going to feel sticky. It will just soak into my skin. My skin's going to suck all that up. And it's going to be fabulous. Okay, so I'm trying to think of a way. And let me show you on a bit of cotton wool. So, excuse me. So, like I said, Moisture Matte starts off looking white and blobby. That's the one that I've just put on. And then I'm going to rub it onto my cotton pad. And you'll be able to see what happens as I massage it in. I know you can't see this happening. However, there you go. That's your foundation base. So it has to be matched to you. There's 3 different tones, and it's not a colour per se, it depends on what colour your skin reflects. So I can usually guess fairly well, but that's a bit harder over Zoom. So what I tend to do is send out samples, but you need to know how to use this one. So there's ivory, which is a blue tone. There's sand, which is a pink, sort of pinky tone. And there's amber, which is a more sort of orangey yellow tone. And so everybody's skin is slightly different. And if you can see it on your skin, it's the wrong colour. I can demonstrate that, I think, because I've got amber here, and amber really isn't my colour. So if I put amber on the back of my hand, okay, so you can see that this kind of disappeared. It doesn't look like I've got anything on, but if I use amber and massage that in really well, you'll be able to really see it. And because it's not matched, it's not the right one for my skin at all. There you go. You can see it's quite orangey on me. It's very definitely there. And that means means amber isn't the colour for me. So that's all you need to do. You just need to test it. And if you can't see it, it's the right colour. If you've got darker skin tones, Asian skins, Fitzpatrick's sort of 5-6, so much darker skin tones. The amber sometimes works. Amber's very good for Asian skin tones. But actually, the one that I tend to find works the best on darker skin tones is the Versatile Tint Sheer Hydration, that one with the visible tint. I've only had one person who I couldn't match, actually, and she had really, really dark skin, a beautiful sort of darker black skin tone, and I couldn't match her with one, actually. But other than that, I've never had anybody I can't match the skin, one of the sunscreens for. And because it's the most important part of your routine, it's crucial that we get one to work for you. The only other sunscreen that we have is Clear Shield, which is really important for acne-prone skins, very good for teenage skins, quite good for men, good for oily skins, open pores. And I'm using a lot of it at the minute with people with problems with mask wearing because it's anti-inflammatory. It's got niacinamide, vitamin B5 in that to help reduce inflammation. So actually I'm using more of that on people who I wouldn't normally recommend it for. So that's a really, really crucial sunscreen as well. Like I said, I'm using a lot of that one at the moment. So there's a variety of things, but what constitutes a basic routine? So I use quite a few products. So I'll just refresh you. I use cleanser, whichever one my skin needs at the time. At the minute, that's Sensor Calm. I exfoliate. So I'm using Bright and Clear. And sometimes I use a treatment exfoliator as well. I'm using my treatment serums. So I start with vitamin C. Really, really important product. And then today I have used a tiny bit of Matter Clear for oiliness around my nose. But generally day to day, I would just use Ultimate Boost Serum. Eye cream, Alumier, and finish off with sunscreen. So it's quite an extensive routine that I've built up over the last 5 years. It's not what I would start everybody on. So what would I start people on? The most important things, which are those 3. Cleanser, Ultimate Boost Serum and sunscreen. You actually can get this as a kit as well, and you get a nice little bag with it as well. And invariably, probably something like Bright and Clear as well. But the important thing is to establish a routine. Cleanse twice a day. That's really important. Exfoliate. Important for lots of different parts of your skin function. Hydrate. Hyaluronic acid, anti-aging peptide serum, sunscreen and day moisturiser. That's your routine. That's what's most important. So I start everybody off differently. There are different options. And once I've done a prescription for you, you can just jump on the portal and order it yourself. I can send things out. I can send you samples, because samples are going to be really important, particularly if you're not in clinic and able to try stuff. None of the serums come as samples. They are all, they're full size, unfortunately. But the cleansers, the night moisturisers and the sunscreens and day moisturisers all come as samples, as does Recovery Balm. Recovery Balm's amazing at the minute with mask wearing problems. I've actually been sacrificing mine as hand cream because of the amount of hand washing and hand gel I've been doing, where I've been vaccinating the last week or so. So that's kind of a run through my routine. I will come back and do a nighttime one as well at some point this week, because it's different and it's important in its own way. There's different specialty serums I would use, retinols, that kind of thing. So I'll come back to that later in the week. But if anybody's got any questions about routine, you can see I'm starting, my redness is just starting to go down now. It's left a nice colour. I'm a little bit glowy still, but that will settle too. My skin's going to absorb all that. I've just shown you my untidy dressing table. So normally all my Alumier products are here, but I've kind of ripped them, sort of stripped them all down for this. And that's all my hair stuff that side. And my very small, minimal amount of makeup, because I don't really do makeup. Oh, and if anybody's interested, my fabulous twisty that keeps my hair out of the way is by a brilliant company called Do The Twist. And I'll tag her in. So if anybody likes my twisty, then jump on and go and see what she's got. She's making me a bespoke one at the minute, which is quite exciting. So hopefully that's answered some questions for you. If anybody would like to book a Zoom consultation, I've got availability this afternoon after lunch, and I've got availability from about 11 o'clock tomorrow at the moment. And then I'm vaccinating after that. And next week I've got no availability at all because I'm vaccinating all week. But any questions, give me a shout. I hope that's been useful, and I will see you all later. Bye.